Shalom, this is Mary Omni from the World Government House of King David, Holy Covenant Constitutional Enforcer. This is a Republic Notice. The title of this Republic Notice is called True News. And what True News tries to do is try to combat or wage a defense against all the MK Ultra rhetoric and all the the dereliction of brain spilling that blacks do on the internet, in that they wound each other unnecessarily. They are inflicting wounds and holding on to pus sores that really should not be held on to, because we're in the middle of Armageddon. And even though I've done videos about this before and I wanted to put this behind it, I still see too much ignorance coming up. And these are stale arguments. These are stale arguments still coming up. Now, the stale argument that's still coming up that I want to obliterate with True News, or to combat if I don't obliterate it, is that dark-skinned women is jealous of light-skinned and white women and mulattoes. I mean, I see a lot of this nonsense. And so I'm going to tell you True News. The True News is dark-skinned Judah Queens is not jealous of any woman. Dark-skinned Judah Queens is not jealous of any woman. And I'm so tired of these black women following these derelict men in all this, berating of black women and all this ganging up on yourself, inflicting yourself, doing the self-wounds, the self-infliction. We have babies stuck in foster care. We're in the middle of Armageddon. And you got this stale argument still going about some women who think they have something on dark-skinned women to say that they jealous of other women are light-skinned or mulattoes. You got mulatto women saying that. I'm going to tell you, this is True News. And listen to me just for a minute. Lend me your ear just for a minute. Now, I've did other videos on this, but lend me your ear just for this minute, because I want to let you know, True News, dark-skinned Judah Queens is not jealous of any woman, whether she's white, mulatto, or light-skinned black, or Asian, or Hispanic. She is not jealous of you. Why? She has no reason to be. It's a system of white supremacy that has MK'd Ultra'd you and made you think that she had something to be jealous of. And what's making you think that is because you're MK'd Ultra in piss. So she's supposed to be jealous of your piss MK'd Ultra programming, because that's all the hell you got on dark-skinned women is piss MK'd Ultra programming. Your patriarchal, P, indoctrination, I, subjugation, S, syndrome, S. You're piss. A dark-skinned Judah Queen is not jealous of your piss, okay? Satan pisses on you. No dark-skinned Judah Queen is jealous of your satanic piss absorption. No dark-skinned Judah Queen is jealous of your satanic piss programming, absorption, and MK Ultra brain infiltration, to the point of having you drawn to thinking a dark-skinned Judah Queen is really jealous of Satan infesting your brain with piss. When we talk about complexions and Hollywood and images and all that stuff, a lot of you women forget we have a lot of dark-skinned leading ladies. We have Michelle Obama in the White House. Whoopi Goldberg was one of the highest paid black actors, dark-skinned. Alfre Warder, dark-skinned. Angela Bassett, chocolate. We have Viola Davis, a leading Hollywood actor. We have Nona Gay, the beautiful daughter of Marvin Gaye. And so, we want to see what we want to see a lot of times. Because even when black women, dark-skinned complexion, is in movies and everything, we want to say, oh, there's no dark-skinned leading lady. Well, that's not true. You know, some of the best actresses we got is dark skin. And they so good that you don't even see their dark skin. All you see is their acting skills, okay? Because they done overcame your piss programming, because their skills is just that dynamite and their skills is just that great, okay? Now, this silliness about the dark-skinned Judah queen being jealous of a white woman is really silly. Who will be jealous of her? I mean, really, who would be jealous of a white woman in this day and time? Who the hell that got their mind in halfway existence of their faculties would be jealous of a white woman that the sun is putting melanoma sores on left and right? Sin sores that a whole health bill is sending around called Obamacare. It's sending around sin sores because we're getting tired of paying for the sin sores. You know, you go take these sin sores off all the time and use insurance money, and that's draining the healthcare system. Your sin sores called melanoma. You know, the whole country shouldn't have to pay for your sin sores. Your sin sores of your racism. Your racism. You're fighting Ra. You're fighting Ra. You're fighting the sun, and the sun hitting your ass back. So don't you fall into the trap of the complexion black women of thinking you're going to fight Ra, talking about the dark-skinned woman is jealous of your mulattoes. No, please. Who would be jealous of a mulatto? Who would be jealous of a mulatto? The Bible said they had 10 generations of bastardom. And Deuteronomy 23 too. 10 generations of bastardom. Who would be jealous of that? It's only your piss in your brain. Your programming of piss to make you think that a cosmic queen of dark skin, that the space make up 85% of dark matter, will be jealous of a mulatto. Let's come to the light-skinned black women. The light-skinned black women is the lightest darkness, okay? Now, when it comes to black people in general, whether they light-skinned or dark-skinned, most of them have the same or equal or amounts of carbon levels. See, it's not only based on complexion. You can't tell a book by its cover. You might have a light-skinned black that actually has more carbon than a dark-skinned black. Why? Because we had 100 years of segregation in this country. And in that 100 years of segregation, blacks made it with blacks. And sometime when the blacks made it with blacks, they made it with cousins who they didn't know was their cousins. And this mating with cousins who didn't know was their cousins created double carbons in their system. And they might have come out light-skinned, but their carbon is heavy in their system. And what it created was a dominant recessive. You know, it's like the carbon clashed into itself and created a lighter skin hue black. You have to understand, blacks, dark-skinned blacks produce light-skinned blacks when the carbon bloodlines are close. You know, all light-skinned blacks don't have nothing to do with whites. We had segregation for 100 years. We had segregation for 100 years. Amen. Okay? And that segregation for 100 years, amen, produced light-skinned blacks from close bloodlines. Now, the clearest example of this is you can look in Africa. And in the tribes in Africa, some of the cousins make with cousins. And because they don't have the protections as the namesake, they come out as albinos. Because the close bloodlines of carbons clash and create an albino. But we don't get as many albinos because we are the protected of King Yeshua, and he forms us from the womb. But I've just said that point to prove to you that carbon or dark skin can create light. We have the biggest example of that in Africa. What makes you think we can't create light? We do it perfectly because most of ours is not albino, okay? So this is silly to say that a dark-skinned woman is jealous of light-skinned women when they produce, or light-skinned woman comes from levels of carbon concentration, okay? You know, if they black, they come from levels of carbon concentration. You know, they the same flip of the same coin, flip it over. As a matter of fact, they might have, some of the light-skinned ones might have a more carbon clashing, you know, than some of the darker-skinned women. But you can't tell by their complexion, just like the albinos, they got clashes of carbon in Africa. And they come out, you know, can't take the sun, but King Yeshua protects his people because he forms us from the womb. So if we're formed from the womb, we have no reason to be jealous of each other. Now, what they talking about dark-skinned women may have is the post-traumatic stress. The post-traumatic stress of the nonsense of the societal piss programming, systematic discrimination of her. You know, it would be stupid, she wouldn't be human if she didn't feel discriminated against over this nonsense. She knows she's equal to you. She knows she's equal to you. So why should she be discriminated against? So part of their beef is, you know, who the hell are you to think you better than me because you a little mulatto, white or light, okay? Who the hell are you to think you better than me? That ain't jealousy. That ain't jealousy. That's a natural response to an aggressive offense for no reason. That's a natural response to an offensive, aggressive infringement for no reason that's done systematically that a lot of people feed into because they soaked in satanic piss. And she knows they soaked in satanic piss. And she's tired of the satanic piss they soaked in, thinking that that piss can be the end and be all to identify her as being a less than or from a lesser God. And she has a right to be angry because it's nonsense. It's nonsense that just because you have piss programming, she's less than you. Just because you have piss programming, she's jealous of your stink piss, okay? I mean, it's silly. And see, this is coming from, you know, a black woman that is not even dark-skinned, okay? My complexion is closer to Jada Pinkett, give or take a shade. I'm not the Whoopi Goldberg complexion. I'm closer to Jada Pinkett, take or give a shade, okay? See, so you can't say this is like a dark-skinned woman defending dark-skinned woman. I'm more closer to Jada Pinkett, complexion, give or take a shade. Not as pretty, but close to her complexion, give or take a shade. But your nonsense of keep putting up these videos that the dark-skinned Judah Queens is jealous of you is your piss programming. She has no reason to be jealous of you. I mean, was she jealous of your piss? She jealous of your piss? And as far as light-skinned black women, I mean, you haven't benefited from piss programming. And as far as mulattoes, who wants your bastardom? And as far as white women, who wants your melanoma sores? And as far as Asian women, who wants your shape? I mean, and as far as any other woman, who wants what you got? We produce the best athletes of the planet. Come out of light-skinned and dark-skinned black women. We produce the best athletes on the planet. You know, you have black vaginal envy across the board. You know, so I don't know where y'all get this stuff from, but I tell you one thing, y'all need to stop it and start praying and repenting and understand we're in the middle of Armageddon. You need to stop, stop your nonsense, grow up. We're in the middle of Armageddon. We're getting prepared for the King David kingdom, okay? This is silliness you're perpetrating. And women, you need to stop it. You need to stop this perpetration of this nonsense. No one is jealous of you. The dark-skinned Judah Queen has a right to react to your stupidity and your nonsense. She has a right to her post-traumatic stress. She's human. She's human. She has a right to post-traumatic stress dealing with you thinking because you absorbed and soaking in piss, you got something she ain't got. And all you got is piss, and that's all you ever had on her is your piss that satanic soaked you in with his followers. This is Mary Omni from the house of King David. Shalom.